Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Cloudy this morning, and there's a thunderstorm rolling in. I think we will probably miss most of it. It's just north of us, and for a while there was a severe thunderstorm warning, but they've dropped that one. But the way it looks, I don't think we're going to get any rain. If we do, it'll be just barely scraping us. Supposed to be a decent day today, and then the next few days getting back up in the 90s. So gonna be a good hot weekend, and I'm gonna make the attempt to relax this weekend, especially tomorrow. This week has been really busy, not hard necessarily, but just busy. So I'm ready for a day off. I don't know if any of you watched yesterday, the press conferences and all that kind of stuff. I did not. I did watch some highlights, and it was pretty embarrassing. Not that it's a big surprise, but Joe Biden did what we all expect Joe Biden to do, and he just couldn't help himself. Called Zelensky Putin, called Kamala Harris Donald Trump. Said he takes orders from his commander-in-chief when that's what he is. It was just one gaffe after another. And while that's not surprising, and I'm not really here to focus on that, what I want to focus on is that them with the with the way things are going with Biden and his campaign right now, of how there's so many politicians, there's so many prominent people, George Clooney even, and all these people are coming out and saying, Joe Biden needs to step aside. He did a great job, but it's his time to step aside, that kind of thing. And then he comes out and does an hour-long press conference, totally just bombs it. There's all kinds of little clips of him, shaking hands with people at the NATO summit, and he just looks like they drug him out of a, deathbed at a nursing home. And I think this is all for a purpose, because his handlers, his people around him, even Jill Biden, Jill, not Joe, Jill. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, she's the one that's pushing all this. I think she's part of it too, folks. Because she can't be so stupid to think that he could go out there and do an hour-long press conference and that no one would notice, that, they'd all walk away thinking, oh, well, he's all better now. Look how great he did. I mean, everyone knows. And so the question is why would they do this? Why would they push it out there? Why would they have him doing all this public stuff all of a sudden? Like, he's not really done that much up until now. They've protected him, and they've kept him kind of hidden, where he's not really doing a lot of press type stuff where he's answering questions and really having to engage until now. And it's not because he's running for office, because they didn't do that the last time he ran for office. They're doing that because they know that he's done, and they're trying to, there's a plan. I don't know exactly what the plan is, but it's like their little humiliation ritual that they have to go through. Obama has, even mainstream news, I believe it was MSNBC yesterday, was saying that the word on the street is that Barack is actively working behind the scenes to get enough supporters behind a different candidate to get Joe Biden out of the race. And so, if you believe that Barack Obama was really kind of pulling the strings on Joe Biden and he's turned against him, then the goose is cooked. But I have to believe that all of this charade, all of these shenanigans, all of this stuff that's going on, it's for a purpose to distract and to get, I don't know, the chess pieces lined up to where they need to be, for them anyways. So I cannot believe that all this is going on. It's like, man, doesn't Biden and his people know that he's not capable of doing, look at this. They put him out there again to try to show what he can do, and he messed up again. No, they put him out there because they knew he would mess up. They put him out there because they knew it would just be awful. And I think part of it is, and I've said this before, I think part of it is is that it's not so much about Joe Biden or the Democrat candidate or even the president or anything. It's about the American people. I mean, every American, for the most part, deep down inside, they understand that the position of the president is really more of just a figurehead, a symbolic leader. I mean, yes, they do have authority. Yes, they do things typically, good or bad. But for the most part, heads of state anywhere, they're kind of that symbolic leader that, they set the mood and the pace for the country, and people look up to them for the most part, and the world looks to them. When the world, especially world leaders, when they think of America or they interact with America, it's generally they're interacting with our leader. And so it's almost like they're doing this as a public embarrassment to bring America down, to bring the American people's morale down, and to bring the global respect down on purpose. Because, I mean, these people, the handlers at the White House and the Biden campaign, I mean, they're not stupid people, right? They're not idiots. And they've seen it a lot longer and a lot more than you and I have, because they work directly around him. And so they're not foolish to just send him out there and to think it's going to be okay. They know it's not going to be okay. They know he's going to do the things that he's doing. And they're doing it for a purpose, to bring down American morale, to humiliate us on the international stage. And there's probably some kind of, process, whatever it is, this humiliation ritual or something, that's going to be this kind of transition, whether it's transitioning to a new candidate, or it's still possible that they're going to push him through and, steal the election and Joe Biden will be president, and then whatever. But the point that I'm trying to make is that, and I'm probably not doing a good job of making this point, I get it, is that when I see this happening, the way things have been, and the kind of this awakening that there's something wrong with Joe Biden, and then they put him out there for an hour-long press conference and all this stuff that they know he's going to do horrible on, it tells me that we're getting close. We're getting close, because they would not be doing this kind of stuff if it was just kind of normal, business as usual kind of stuff. They know that their plans are starting to fall in place, that they're, whatever they are, that they're on the verge of them happening. And so they've got to distract, bring down, confuse people, and sending Joe Biden out there babbling on and calling the wrong names and saying ridiculous things and doing stupid things, so that the news media can get sucked in, and the Republicans can all laugh and mock and say, ha, 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 this is what we would do. And then the Democrats are like, oh, this is horrible. We've got to get a new candidate. We're going to lose. We're going to have the orange man's going to be president. See what I'm saying? So the whole country right now is just captivated by this. If you get on any news site, anywhere on the internet, Twitter, X, whatever, that's the main story. The main story for the last few weeks now has been Joe Biden and his senility, his dementia. And it's not a shock. Everyone knew that already. So why is this the top of the story? Why does it look like that there's this infighting battle in the Democrat Party? Do you really think that, they couldn't get Joe Biden out if they wanted him to be out? Of course they could. They're doing this all as a show to distract us from whatever's about to happen. And maybe that thing is World War III. Maybe it is something else. But typically, when there is a lot of flack thrown out, it usually means that there's something going on. And right now, there's a lot of flack going on. Yes, there's the NATO summit and all the stuff that was talked about. F-16s are now fully activated to be used in Ukraine at any moment. So any day, any hour now, we'll most likely hear of attacks against Russians by F-16s. That's a big deal. That was one of those red lines from Vladimir Putin, that You do this, and we're going to start attacking the bases that they come out of, which is in NATO territory, which will end up being an Article 5. So there is a lot of stuff going on. There's stuff going on in Israel, Gaza, Lebanon, North and South Korea, our own economy, our own state of morality here in the United States, the stuff, the debauchery that's happened. There's a lot of stuff going on, is what I'm saying. But everyone's focused on the Joe Biden thing, and the Joe Biden thing has not been a secret. It's always been this way. Everyone's always, I mean, you can go back before he became president. Everyone knew that he was a bumbling idiot, that he couldn't tell the truth. He couldn't put a sentence together. He was, fondling women and children. I mean, everyone knew this. And then all of a sudden now, it's like the whole country's turned against Joe Biden. It's all been exposed now of what he is. No, it's not exposed. It's just they now are okay to talk about it. And if they're okay to talk about it and bring this much attention to it, then it tells me that something else is going on. So you should be on guard. Head on a swivel doesn't necessarily mean whatever's going to happen is going to happen directly around your vicinity. But things will happen, and there's no reason that there couldn't be some kind of outburst of violent activities here in the United States because of whatever's going to happen. So yes, it could affect us directly, but if not, it will affect us by war and economy and draft and all that kind of stuff. So we should be ready for that, and that's part of being prepared, is to get ready. So I encourage you to do that, because they're crazy right now, and they're heating up. And it just seems like it's just a lot going on. And usually when all those things are happening, something's about ready to give. And you need to be ready for that. It's time to get your houses in order and to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.